way I feel like this tutorial is starting to go left. Woof. Hey y'all, happy February. My name is Candice if this is your first time here. So February means Black History Month. So during this month, I plan to do at least 2 makeup tutorials featuring makeup by Black owned brands. We're gonna be starting off the month by featuring Beauty Bakerie. It is a woman owned and Black owned makeup brand. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how I got this colorful look using all Beauty Bakerie products. So let's get into it right now. You guys are zoomed in, my skin is prepped, and my eyebrows are already done. I did them off camera because Beauty Bakerie does not have any brow products. I'm gonna be prepping my lids with the Insta-Bake 3-in-1 concealer. I'm using the shade 006 Sugar Daddy. I'm gonna shape my eyebrows and cover my lids with the concealer. So y'all, I'm actually gonna jump into some color today. I feel like 2021, man, neutrals had us girls in a chokehold. Everybody was doing browns and rosy pinks and tans and nudes. I feel like 2022, we're gonna get back to the color because I miss it and I just think it looks good, especially on brown skin. So now I'm gonna put on some setting powder, and today I am using the Flower setting powder. Oh, there we go. Today I'm using the Flower setting powder. I'm using this shade Cassava, which is a yellow like banana type powder. I'm gonna put a little bit into the lid and just set this concealer that I put on my lids with this powder all over before we jump into the color. And then also, by the way, I am using the Beauty Bakerie's Black Excellence blending sponges. They're such good sponges, I love them, and I think they come like 6 in a pack for $18. Now it's time to jump to the color. So I am gonna be using the Sugar Cookies eyeshadow palette. I'm doing a blue look today, or blue / teal kind of look. So I'm gonna be using these 3 shades here. So this will be in my crease, this will be on the lid, and then this will be on the outer corner of my eyes. And then I might use this shade to like deepen up the blue, just a smidge. So for the crease shade, I'm gonna dip into the shade Cookie Shots and just start blending that into the crease area with a very light hand, because this shadow gets very pigmented very fast. And I like to build slowly instead of just packing it on so much, because it gets harder to blend out. Okay, it's showing up a little bit green, but we're gonna work with it. So just go back and forth in your crease with little windshield wiper motions. Just back and forth, just to get a nice blend. I'm gonna wipe off my brush just to get the excess off, and then I'm gonna go back and just blend the edges of this shadow because I want it to be a little bit more blended. So I'm just going in like little circular motions just so I don't have a harsh line on the outer part of this shadow color. I just want it to be nice and smooth before I move into the next shade. Okay, now using the same brush, I'm gonna dip into the shade Cookie Jar and put that on the outer corners of my lid and just tap it on. Try not to blend it so far out. I really want to keep that darker blue color right here on the outer corner of my lid. So I'm just tapping, tapping, tapping until I build up the blue or the deepness that I want. And then really you don't have to worry about making a mistake out here because it's going to get cleaned up with concealer. Now that I have the blue built up and intensified, I want to blend it into this green color because it's teal in the pan, but it really looks green to me on camera. So I'm gonna call it green. So we're gonna build this blue, or not build, girl. Blend. We're gonna blend this blue into the green, just on the outer parts of my lid. It's still looking crazy, but just trust me. Just trust the process. Now for the lid space, I'm gonna use the shade Stack Yo Chips. And now I'm using a more flat eyeshadow brush. I'm just gonna dip into that shade and build it up on my lids. Tap off this excess. And just tap onto the lid just to build up that shimmer shade. And just keep tapping. Try not to get it above your crease area because you don't want it all over. You want it to stay right in the lid space area. All right, both my sides are done. So now I'm gonna go back to my original brush. Make sure it's wiped off and just blend everything together because I want it to look kind of like a cut crease, but not really. I want it to be really soft. So I just want to blend everything together and just make it look really seamless. There we go. Now moving into an even smaller eyeshadow brush, I'm going to use the shade Even Exchange. And I'm gonna put that on my inner tear duct area just for a little brightness. I'll just place it right there just to open up the eyes a little bit and just add a little extra something to this eye look. It's already green, blue, aqua kind of color. It's looking kind of cute already. I hope I don't have any meetings on camera today because I would never wear this shade ever for work. All right, so moving into liner, I am gonna be using the Lollipop liner. It's a black shade, works really good, y'all. So let me get into this winged liner. It's what do you call it? A felt tip. I love winged liner, but I'm not the best at it. So, hope I didn't mess this up. All right, I think it's time for another one because she is kind of dry. Okay, so Beauty Bakerie does have a mascara, but I don't own it. So I'm gonna just put some mascara on. I'm gonna zoom back out and then we're gonna start on the face. So now getting into the face, let's start with primer. So I am gonna be using the Butter Hydra Silk Primer. And isn't the packaging just so cute, you guys? It looks like an actual butter stick, which they always just kill it when it comes to packaging and creativity when it comes to their products. So it's just a little stick. It looks like this, and I'm just gonna swipe it all over my face and then kind of smooth it out over my face. There we go. It feels very much like Tatcha primer, where it's kind of like that dry type of feeling, but it does go on just like butter. For foundation, I'm using the Insta-Bake foundation using the shade 315W. Just put a couple pumps on my face. Ooh, that's a lot. Ooh, she a little runny, y'all. But I love the color. Now I like to spread it all over with my fingers, and then I'm gonna pick up my Black Excellence sponge and blend it all in. Okay, so I just looked up the foundation, y'all, and it's actually called Insta-Bake Aqua Glass Foundation. So I think it's supposed to give you like that glass skin type of look. Looks like it's medium to full coverage because it goes on pretty medium for me, and I'll usually put more on in the places that I need it to be. So a little bit about Beauty Bakerie. I think it was founded in 2011 by the woman's name is Cashmere Nicole. I think they're based out of San Diego, California. And Cashmere, the owner, actually had breast cancer. So she's a survivor of that, and she actually had it really young. Because I think she's around my age and like in her mid-30s, and she had breast cancer in her 20s and survived that. So after surviving that, I think she decided to start a makeup brand because she just wanted to feel beautiful, which I think is really admirable. But one thing that's kind of bugging me is I really don't see a lot of influencers talking about her brand. So I want to find out like what's going on with that, because I love this brand. And I haven't heard too much about, or any rumblings. I've heard a few things, but not sure if it was really true or not. But if y'all know something, let a girl know. So all of the products that she makes are meant to be like very long lasting and highly pigmented. So her shadows, all of the palettes that I have are super pigmented. Her lipsticks, y'all, they don't move. I put them on. I love her liquid lipsticks. I put them on and they don't come off until I take them off. It usually come off with oil if you're eating greasy foods, then it'll come off, but they pretty much stay all day, which I really love. So now I'm gonna go back into the concealer and clean up this liner on the edges, and then just start putting my concealer where I need it to be. I love when I put concealer right here by my liner because it makes it look like I actually did a really good job on my liner, because girl, a girl struggles. And with this concealer, you do have to work a little fast because it's long lasting. It does tend to dry down and set in place. So I'm gonna go ahead and hurry up and spread it all over my face and blend it out. Okay, so now going back into my setting powder, I'm just gonna put a little bit more into the lid and set this concealer before, I'm gonna set this concealer before my lids, or not my lids, under my eyes starts to crease. Ooh, Lord, I forgot how light this powder is. So I'm gonna use a darker one. So now I'm gonna use the shade Plantain and try to even this out, cause girl, she light. Dip into this one. So let me show you, because I can show you. This one is a little bit more yellowy. So I'm gonna dip into this one, and hopefully I did not just ruin this whole face with this setting powder, and try and fix it real quick. Okay, so I forgot the Beauty Bakerie setting powder is extremely matte. So I tend to only use these powders in like spring and summertime when it's a little bit more humid in the air, but in wintertime, it's just not where it's at. As soon as I put that powder on, it just sucked up all the moisture from my face. So what I did was I used the butt of the blending sponge just to soak up as much of that setting powder as I could, and to make sure I help just smooth that area out, because whoo, it's starting to go bad for me. Starting to go bad for me. But we good. Now for bronzer, I'm going to be using this Brownie Bar palette. What is the shade of it? Oh, I guess the shade is Brownie Bar. So I'm going to use this little chocolatey shade here. This one tends to be pretty deep, so I'm going to use a light hand when I put this on, and just place it on the, place it on the perimeter of my face, and then buff it out. The way I feel like this tutorial is starting to go left. Woof. And place it in the hollows of my cheeks and blend it out. Now I'm going to add a little to my nose just to contour it out just a little bit, just right here on the bridge, and just blend it out. Bring it up into the shadow just a little bit, just to help sculpt out your nose just a little bit. Now for blush slash highlighter, I am going to use the Cotton Candy Champagne palette. There we go. So this is a blush lighter palette, so it's half blush, well, not half blush, but it's supposed to be highlighter. See, has 4 different shades. Since we're doing kind of a blue look, I want to add in just a little bit of pink just for a full type of color kind of look. I'm going to use this little brush here and use the shade, I'm going to use the shade Sip Sip Hooray. It's kind of more of a muted pink. So I'm going to dip into that and just place it on top of where I put my bronzer, just for a little bit of glow. I felt like highlighter was not it in 2021 either, and I hope that it comes back, because I kind of like glowing. And I have so many highlighter palettes that I barely used last year. I'm gonna pull them back out this year. Blend it in, put a little in my temples. Hopefully I'm not going too overboard. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back to the eyes. I put a little liner in my waterline. And now I'm gonna go back into this palette using the shade Cookie Jar, which is that royal blue color, and like a little smudger brush. I'm gonna smudge out my lower lash line, just kind of like on the outer corners, just to give my eyes a little bit more like depth and dimension. And I just start by tapping it into place, because this shadow is so pigmented that I don't want to get it everywhere. I'm gonna tap it into place on both sides and then blend it out. Hopefully it looks good on camera, because when I start editing this video and it doesn't look good, I'm gonna be very mad. I'm gonna put some lashes on, and then we'll come back and put on my lips, and then we'll be done. Okay, lashes are on, so now let's move into the lips. Since this is like a blue look, I'm not gonna put too much on my lips because I don't want to look like a clown. So I'm gonna go a little bit more simple. I'm gonna be lining my lips with the Sugar Sticks lip liner, and I am using the shade Swedish. So I'll just put a little bit around my lips, and then we'll fill in with a gloss. So now I'm gonna use this lip gloss here. I am using the shade Enchanted Jelly. So it's really just like a clear gloss with like silvery, purpley kind of glitter inside of it. And just spread that all over the lips. I don't like it. I don't like it, y'all. Hold on, hold on. Okay, I took the liner off. I think I just want to put just the gloss on, no liner, because I don't want any pink in it at all. Now, let me put this on, no liner. I think that's going to be the move. Okay, y'all, this is the look. I got my little blue-green eyes with my clear glitter lips, bringing back a little color for Black History Month. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give me a huge thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. This is the kind of content I'm gonna be bringing you every single week. Hit those notification bells so you're notified every time I upload a new video. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.